Hello, family. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy E, the Dividend Passport Bro, back with another video. I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. You guys still see I still got my Chelsea jersey on, right? After having an amazing day yesterday, beating Liverpool 2 goals to 1. Now, I am planning to go to London, right? To go to London, right? To watch the Chelsea game. Now, how can I afford to do this, right? I can do this because of what I make videos on every single day. Now, this is just something that I need to add real quick in here. Okay, guys, so this is not financial advice, okay? I'm just a 52-year-old man that makes video about my portfolio and my portfolio alone. So do not take this as financial advice. If you do, you know what I always say. You do it at your own free risk, okay? The risk is yours. It's not mine, okay? I'm only here to motivate you guys to invest in yourself so you can get to the next level. That's it, okay? So you can get to the next level. Now, a lot of us out here know, right, our family, meaning our dad and mom, did not leave anything for us. When I say family, that's what I talk about, okay? Our mother and father. Now we have our cousins, first cousins, those are family, right? But usually, if something happens to you, your family steps in, and then 99% of the time, right, you have your extended family, cousins, other family that will help with whatever needed as far as if something happened, right? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your immediate family, which is you and your kids. I'm not talking about your mom and dad. So if you're a kid, you're born, your immediate family is your mom and dad, right? If you're a parent and you have kids, I mean, that's your immediate family. So you have to take care of them and provide for them. Now, that might sound off to some people, but to me, that's how I look at it, okay? I have my cousins. I love my cousins. I love my family. And they know that I show that to them. But the bottom line, if something happened to me today, if I was to pass away, everything that I own is going to go to my children, right? It's going to go to my kids. So that's why I work hard. So when they get to the level that I'm in now, when they get to the age, not my age, but when they get old enough to where, they can do certain things, they can do it, don't have to worry about it. Like my daughter, she's in college right now. I pay tuitions. Her mom paid the other half of the tuition. So that's good. When I was in college, my mom couldn't afford to pay tuition. Okay, we were just trying to survive for our lives. Okay, my father passed away when I was 8 years old. So it was just her. Okay. Now, even though my father passed away when I was 8 years old, but my other siblings, right, when they were in university, my mom paid for their tuition because things were different at the time. So, but this is not about my mom or all that other stuff. This is just me getting to my point, right? Um, Generational wealth. Okay. Now, I talk about this all the time, generational wealth, creating generational wealth, creating generational wealth. Okay. And in here, pretty simple. Okay. What is generational wealth? Okay. Stuff that you accumulate. When you accumulate assets, the accumulation of assets such as money, investment, real estate, businesses, that can be passed down to generation. Generation means a family next, family to the next, one family to the next. So whatever I built, I pass down to my daughter. They pass it down to their kids, to their kids, to their kids. Okay, generational wealth. Okay, now financial asset, cash, stocks, bonds, investment portfolio, all asset, real estate. You guys know I got real estate. I've been talking about buying some land, real estate, home, land. Okay, businesses, own family-owned businesses. Okay, valuables, right? It can be any kind of like painting or stuff like that. But guys, I talk about this all the time. Now, think about this, right? A lot of times, our family member pass away, right? When we go to do all this back checking, what do we find out? They don't have nothing. They don't even have enough money to bury themselves, right? Now, other family members I'm talking about, your cousins, your auntie, your grandma, grandpa, if they're still alive, right? Those people have to step in and give donations, right, to help put that person in the ground. Okay. Now that's some of the stuff that we deal with on a daily basis. This is normal. This is normalized. Okay. Now I don't want to be in that space. So I spent hours and hours and hours and hours, right, learning different things to how to improve myself so that I can improve my asset, right? So when I passing down things that I've accumulated to my children, right, the generations going, I have daughters. I don't have sons, so I have daughters. Okay. And funny thing, I just throw this in there. It's kind of funny to me. I was talking to one of my friends. He was like, "Man, you have a bunch of girls. You doing something wrong." Okay. And I just laugh, right? Because he has a son, but his son is adopted. So we have a son that was adopted. So he haven't given birth to a kid of his own seed, right? So he adopted a kid. Nothing wrong with that. No, nothing wrong with that. But for him to tell me that I'm doing something wrong, I'm just having girls because he has a son. I think it was, I don't know, it was one of those things. Maybe he felt like it was something that he had to say. Right? It was kind of funny. I think about it all the time and I'd be laughing. Um, but that's have nothing to do with this conversation. I just thought I'd throw that in to give you guys a little bit of a giggle. But guys, so look back on if you're a father, if you're a mother, look back now and say, if something was to happen to me tomorrow, and my kids' life gonna be any better today than it's gonna be tomorrow? Meaning, when you leave this world, the things that you have, whether it's debt or asset, whatever, how is it going to benefit your kids and the generation to come? They might not even remember you, right? Great great grandfather, right? They have a picture of you sitting there, you know, great great grandpa, Eddie, he's made all this stuff you guys have now possible. Now some kids will be like, okay, well, I want to learn about grandpa. Some kids are like, okay, well, grandpa did what he had to do. Now we're here. We're gonna enjoy, make it rain, do whatever. And then, of course, the generational wealth going to be gone. It's going to end with that generation that is not serious. So, as to be able to pass this on, not only you have to create the generational wealth, but now you have to teach your children how to keep it. Right? You got to teach your children how to keep it and transfer that continuous thing. Okay? Now, I'm building my generational wealth. I'm trying to teach my girls, how to preserve all of this hard work that I'm putting in and working towards, right? So when I'm gone, they don't have to. Even when I'm here right now, they don't have to go through half of the crap that I have to go to get to where I'm at right now. Okay. So guys, leave your comments. Let me know if what I'm saying is make any sense to you guys. If you see this is something that you need to do for your family. I talk about this all the time in my videos. All the time I talk about making sure what are you preserving what you're working for, right? And don't say, yeah, I gotta live for the day. Yes, live for the day, but also prepare for tomorrow. Right? Don't just live for the day and tomorrow you have nothing to eat because you're still living. Okay? So as hard as you work, you go to job, you work, extra hours, overtime. We do all these different things because of money. But We would never sit down and say, you know what, I need to learn how the rich still rich and the poor people still poor. How is that, right? How the rich still richer and the poor still poor. We don't think about that, okay? We don't think about that. And sometimes for me, it's like, you know what? You can't help everybody, right? I come out here every day, I make videos motivating you guys to invest in yourself. Okay, I was watching the content, what was it last night, I think, or the day before yesterday, about a young man. I think he have like four businesses, right? Making, and each one of those businesses are generating over, uh, uh, you know, $200,000-300,000 a year in total. Of his four businesses he have, he's generating at least about $1 million a year in income. Okay, that is crazy. Of course, we got to pay taxes, we got to pay people, we got to pay employees. But guys, it's not everybody meant to be a CEO. Not everybody. Okay, because some people are CEO of the household and they can barely manage that. They can barely manage the finance for the household, right? So can you imagine you can barely manage the finance for your household, but managing the finance of the business? So you got to think about all these different things, right? And say, you know what? I need to learn the basics. I need to know the how, right? I need to know the when. You need to know all these little basic things that can help you. You don't have to be a expert. I'm no expert, right? When I started real estate investing, I knew that that would be something that's going to help me in the future. And I come from a background investor. Okay, we have lands and houses and all that stuff back home in Africa. So when I got to where I could work and do all the other things, right? When I had money, I'm like, okay, now I got to invest in my property because that's what I knew, real estate, right? Other than go to school and become a lawyer or doctor, um, that was my option was a pharmacist. That was my mama plan for me to be a pharmacist. I didn't want to be a goddamn pharmacist, right? I wanted to be free. I wanted to be free to do what the hell I want to do when I want to do. Now, it would have been nice if I stumbled on dividend investing when I was in my 30s, just like I was dealing with real estate. Guys, oh my gosh. Just like I was dealing with real estate, because I sit back and look, the time and effort that I put into real estate, if I had put the same time and effort into dividend investing, I probably have over $30-40 million right now in my portfolio. Because back then I was working three jobs, right, making what, $7, $8, $9, whatever it was, on those jobs per job. Can you imagine if I was investing one and a half or two of those three jobs like I was doing the last 5 years, trying to build my portfolio to where it is now? That compounding, right? Even though I was married at the time, right? Would that have kept my wife? No. Would I have stopped some of the arguments? Probably. You know, I did my first wife. We probably definitely divorced because of money. Because if I had money, I would have time. I would have been there to take. Second wife, that one I can't remember exactly what. Um, More of a disagreement, and it was just best to go our way, right? But sitting there and looking at those things, I'm like, now, okay, I have money, yes, and most of anything else, I have time. So I can spend time with my kids. I can spend time with my daughter's mother, my girlfriend, right? I'm not married yet. I'm still going back and forth. the benefit of marriage right now. But some things you have to do for your children. So once we get all the right things in place, then we'll take that next step. But until then, that's not going to happen because I got to make sure that I'm protected and my kids are protected before I marry anybody else. Especially at this time in my life when it's not necessary for me. It doesn't benefit me anyway. Right now, if I was struggling, they didn't have a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out of, and then I get married and build together. Yes, but for now, it doesn't really benefit me. Okay, guys. Now we're talking about building generational wealth. Okay, not building another person because that's what I would have to do. Essentially, build that person, right? Um, and of course, I'm doing that now, but not to the extent that I think I would be doing if I was to get married, knowing the kind of person I am. Guys, I don't want to talk you guys' head off. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, right? This is a money channel. We talk about making money here, right? Investing, getting to the next level, buying land. I tell you guys all the time, I'm looking into buying land. I was just looking at Zillow uh, before I got on this call, looking at some real estate that I want to buy that I might look at when I get back to Atlanta. Um, so these are some of the things that I'm doing, and I share with you guys to motivate y'all, not to brag, not to brag. Okay, guys. So y'all have an amazing Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. I got 2 more days here. I mean, one more day here tomorrow, and then Tuesday morning, uh, I'll be flying out of here. But the roads are messed up, so it's kind of. I talked to the driver. He's like, "Yeah, usually it takes about 3 to 4 hours drive from here to Bogota. It's $20, 20, $30, right? Because the rate has changed, maybe $25 because they changed the rate now, right? And in the car is going to be maybe 3 people, one in the front, 4 people, the driver, and 3 other people. So there's space for you to sit down. It's not but he told me he's like, well, we have to leave at 3 in the morning. I said, what time? He said, yeah, we gotta leave at 3 in the morning. Okay, normally we leave at 6, right? So if we gotta leave at 3, that means I will be up at 2. I don't go to bed till 11:30, 12. So I'm probably not gonna get any sleep, and I have to sit in the car additional 4 to 5 hours. So that's 9 hours I'm gonna be in the car. Nah, I just went and bought a ticket. The flight was $100, okay, for a one-way flight. I booked it yesterday. I'm like, no, it's not worth my time to sit in the car for 9 hours. Not only that, I'm losing my sleep to get to the airport, which will be if we leave at 3 in the morning, we might be at the airport maybe about 9 or 10 o'clock. And no, it's too much. I just go take a cab to the airport. It's an hour flight. I can get a Bogota shell for the rest of the day, and then catch my flight at 2 p.m. Back to the U.S. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things that we have to deal with, but it's part of the plan. So when I come back, I'm just going to book another flight coming back, so I don't have to spend 9 hours in the car. So if I get back and it's too late, I'm just going to stay in Bogota for a night and then catch a flight back to Villavicencio the next day. So I'm not doing the day. They have late flights, I think up to like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock during the day. So anyway, guys, like I said, have an amazing day. Okay, just giving you guys my life story and stuff that I'm dealing with. So tomorrow morning, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do the videos for tomorrow. I'll probably do an early morning video when the market open. On Tuesday, early morning video when the market open, before the market open, um, and that will be the video for the day since I'm going to be traveling on Tuesday. So I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, peace out.